Welcome back to Harbaugh. Last night, a vote on the Patriot Act in the House, a renewal of the Patriot Act, went down when House Republicans surprisingly lost 26 of their own members, several of those being Tea Party freshmen. And across town, meanwhile, Utah Republican Senator Orrin Hatch attended a town meeting to court the Tea Party Express as he gears up for a possible primary challenge on the right come 2012. So just how powerful is the Tea Party these days? Matt Kibbe, of course, is president of Freedom Works. That's the Dick Armey crowd. And Philip Dennis, the Tea Party organizer down in Dallas. Gentlemen, thank you. Great Super Bowl down there in Dallas, I must say. Dennis, Philip. And let me ask you, Philip, the first question. Is Barack Obama a Muslim?
I don't know. Does it matter?
You don't know. Here we go again. Here we go. What do you mean you don't know? He's a Christian.
Let me answer this. If he's a Christian, I certainly don't like the brand of Christianity he went to in Chicago for 20 years.
Well, wait a minute. Well, that's one of the. Now, you've just given me two answers. The first one is I don't know if he's a Christian. He might be a Muslim. And then you switch over. You don't like what you see as a two-left African-American church. So which is it? Is he an African-American Christian, or is he maybe a Muslim? Which is it?
It doesn't make any difference to me at all as long as he would cut the size of government, cut spending, and secure our borders.
The subject.
I don't care what he is.
So you're playing this game. You're playing this game. You are playing this game.
I'm not playing any game. I don't know what he is. Only he can tell you what he is.
Well, he said he's a Christian.
Well, then he's a Christian then. That's fine. But, you know, one thing that you can't deny, and I heard you guys ridiculing those people on the Rasmussen poll there, but one thing is that President Obama certainly has a soft spot in his heart for Islam. You know, he's gone back. His first speech was in Egypt. He's reached out to the Muslims more so than any other president in the history of the world. He's even changed our history, saying that Islam has always played a major part in this country, when everyone knows that's not true. You didn't see our founding fathers weren't Muslim. They weren't breaking for prayers 5 times a day. But this is the type of thing that he's done, is reaching out, bowing to the leaders of Saudi Arabia.
Where are you on Islam?
You talking to me?
Yeah, where are you on Islam?
I have a big problem with Islam. I think that they call itself the religion of peace, when every day it continues around the world to show itself to be anything but. So I think those people have a right, certainly, and it's understandable that they might have a problem that our president might be Muslim. Absolutely.
So do you think those Islamic countries should be allowed to rule themselves?
Absolutely, they should. I do agree with that. Yes, I believe that we shouldn't be involved in that. But I know where you're going with this, is what's going on with Egypt.
I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm following you, sir. I'm following you. I didn't know you'd go in this direction of saying you thought the president was a Muslim. Or a Muslim had a soft spot for him, as the way you laid it, the latest phraseology.
Right. I said I don't know what he is, but he certainly does. And I think you would agree that he's got a soft spot in his heart for Islam. But even
I don't think he's anti-Islamic, and I wonder why you are. There's 1 billion Islamic people in the world. Are you against their religion? You telling them that right now on television? You don't like their religion?
No,
There's 1 billion of them?
No, all I'm saying is that I see what happens worldwide every week with the terrorist events, the beheadings, the stonings, all of these types of things. And we've had 226 indictments for terrorism in the United States, and all of them have been Muslim. So, yes, I have a right to be concerned about Islam, yes.
Okay, let me go to Matt Kibbe just to go around the corner here. Matt, do you think the president's a Muslim or might be?
I think he says he's a Christian, and I take him at his word.
That's what I do, too. Let's move on here with the Patriot Act. But I do think the problem here, and I think you're a classic member of that focus group, Philip. I think if you were in that focus group, would you put your hand up? 10 people did. Would you put your hand up? I wonder why they put their hand up.
No, I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't say that he was a Muslim, no.
Okay, let's go on to this thing.
I would just say that he says he's a Christian, so he's a Christian. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I don't care what religion he is, as long as he would do the things that I would prefer he do, which is reduce the size of government, cut spending, and secure the borders.
Okay, let's take a look at this situation here at the Patriot Act. There's John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, on radio in an interview yesterday, and he was asked if he's a Tea Partier. Let's go and see if he's one of your guys. Let's listen.
Is John Boehner a member of the Tea Party?
I should be.
Are you?
I don't know if I actually pay dues, but I'm a big believer in the Tea Party. I talk to Tea Party activists all over my district and all over the country every day.
You know, I guess we should ask if he's a Tea Party member, like, is he a Muslim? I mean, he says he should be. He says he doesn't pay. I didn't know you had dues. I didn't think it was a dues collecting operation. Why is he sort of kissing around this thing and not really getting to it? Is he a Tea Partier as far as you're concerned, Matt Kibbe? Is he one of you or one of them?
I think if you look at where Republicans are right now, the Tea Party has essentially taken over the Republican Party, and they're talking our values, they're talking our issues, and ultimately I don't think if it matters to me if you belong to the Tea Party or the Tea Party caucus. If you believe in freedom, if you believe in limited government and fiscal responsibility, and you vote as you say you want to and believe, I'm in. I'm with you.
Well, what do you make of a guy like Orrin Hatch, who's moved from he's moved over to 100% conservative union voting record? Lugar's also moved to the right. I'm not sure that's just the nature of the votes lately, but I look at Hatch going to 100% and then showing up at a Tea Party. Is he just getting in line for you guys? Do you think he's just faking it or trying to act appropriate to your power, as you put it? You're in charge.
Well, he's definitely speaking to Tea Party issues right now, and he's very nervous what might happen in the Utah caucus in his election coming up. The bottom line for us is how people vote. The challenge for Senator Hatch is whether or not he can make up for the last 35 years with a new shift towards fiscal responsibility. That's what he has to persuade the people of Utah that he's going to do for the next 6 years.
Is the road to Damascus very crowded right now?
I think there's an opportunity for redemption for anybody.
Okay, let me go to Philip Dennis on that point. First, I'm going to let you listen to Orrin Hatch and see if he's on the road to Damascus appropriately or just pretending. Let's listen.
I've been watching what the Tea Party does. I've been very impressed. I think it's time for America to take back America, and the Tea Party's playing a role in that.
Well, that's very special. Do you buy that, Philip Dennis? Is he a member or is he pretending?
I was just happy to hear that he stopped writing love songs to Ted Kennedy. So, listen, it sounds like it's primary time, and he saw what his good friend Bob Bennett suffered by voting too far to the left the last time. And so, no, I mean, he has a voting record, and we've watched him for a long time, and it's up to the voters of Utah. But I know that the Tea Party certainly is looking at alternatives there, and I believe you'll see a lot of people, a lot of long-time, lifelong politicians that have been there for too long that are looking to move far to the right and call themselves Tea Partiers at this point. This whole Tea Party caucus thing, I mean, you know, what happens when Olympia Snowe wants to join? What happens when Harry Reid wants to join?
Well, okay, you're putting Olympia Snowe in the same category as Harry Reid. What about a younger member like Lindsey Graham? He's got it. Look at the numbers here now. 42% of the PPP poll down in South Carolina among Republicans say he's too liberal. 45% he's about right. Is that in the sweet spot for you guys or not? You first, Philip Dennis. Is that good enough?
I find that surprising. I think the Tea Party is very against what Lindsey Graham has been doing and saying over the last 6 years, and he's cozied up to a lot of big spending liberals on the other side and tried to pass through a lot of legislation that the people of South Carolina were not pleased with. So I would find that to be surprising. I would find the Tea Party would be much more against him, and I certainly expect him to face a primary challenger.
Would you back Joe Wilson over him? Mr.
Yes.
I said you lie to the president. The president lies. Would you go to him rather than Lindsey Graham?
I'm not exactly sure of Wilson's voting record up to now, but if he were more conservative from a fiscal standpoint, absolutely.
How about you? How about you, Matt? You think you want to dump some of these guys?
I think
like Hatch and Lindsey Graham?
Lindsey Graham has to go. He's not only voted against fiscal responsibility, voted against reining in government, but he's really approached the Tea Party with a great deal of disdain and even insulting the voters of South Carolina. So I do expect a challenger. And frankly, I'd be surprised if Lindsey Graham doesn't do what Jim Webb just did, because by the time he gets to his election, he's going to be looking at some very difficult numbers. And as for the rest of these guys, yeah, you got to look at Utah. You got to look at whether or not we have a viable, more principled alternative to Senator Hatch. And if we find one, we're going to be with that guy. Okay, Tea Party rules. Thank you. Republican Party fading like the Whigs, I guess. It's now the Tea Party party.
Like
anyway, thank you, Senator.
Well, like that's your call.
But no, you mean, well, Democrats, according to you, are sort of vaguely Islamic anyway. So anyway, thank you, Matt Kibbe. You guys are always welcome here. This is a good platform, you guys.